Hey there, guys. This is Mike Terry. I just want to go over real quick what I'm doing here. Here on Stock Market Game. Just want to let you know that this is going to be my first update for the year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my portfolio. I'm also going to go over how I pick stocks, how I trade them. I have a $20,000 account that I use. I'm not amazing at it, but I use Market Club and it does very well for me. And that's why I promote it on my site, and that's why I'm letting you guys know how I trade. And if you find it useful, I would like like to hear some feedback. So let me go ahead and get started. What I basically do is I have some set rules that I always use. Let me go here to my portfolio. Give that a second here to load. And what I do is I go here. Well, let me crank up the volume here just so you guys can hear me. I go here and I load my portfolio after I've purchased something. As you can tell, I have quite a few purchases. I have my ETFs down here. I only trade call options and put options on my ETFs. So in the direction that they're going, I will put a call option just right out of the money, and I will typically only hold anywhere between basically anything that's under $1,000 for my call options or my put options, depending on the way the market's tracking. So if I have a monthly trade triangle, a weekly trade triangle, and then I get a daily trade triangle, and I'm trading above 85, then that's pretty much when I'll enter into a trade. So as we can see here, I own 5 different ETFs that are all trending pretty good in the same way. It'd be nice if my European shares and my Chinese shares were doing better, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? And then above, I have all my equities that I own. Now, on my equities, I try and purchase large blocks of stock, anywhere between 100 to 200, and I'll go short or long on these blocks of stock. And I use my parabolic SAR. I'll give you an example of that. I use my parabolic SAR as my stop for my money management. So as you can tell right here, when I entered into this trade actually quite a while ago. I only use my weekly and my monthly trade triangles to get in and out of a trade, by the way. So as you can tell here, I got in short on this weekly trade triangle, and I got in short at 50.55, and it was the parabolic SAR, which I always use as my stop, was at 53.87, and that's what I always use as my stop. And what I do is I try and make money based off of how far down it can go. Typically, I'd like to wait for my weekly trading triangle to turn green. That's when I'll get out of a short position. But sometimes if I felt like I've made quite a bit of money and the market's just kind of stagnant and it's just kind of hovering along one line, then I'll typically get out as well. So as you can see, this is kind of reversed on me a little bit, but it's no big deal. I don't really look for the very short-term things that happen. I look mostly for long-term or intermediary term. That's the style of trader I am. Trend trade, intermediate term. That's basically all me. So let's take a look here. I'll only short a stock that has a D or F rating by Charles Schwab, and that's my broker. And then I'll only go long a stock if it has an B or A rating as per the fundamentals on Charles Schwab, and they have a real nice layout for everything like that. As you can see here, this is my actual account. I have my account as well open too, but that's my live trading account. So let me know what you guys think. This is how I trade. And well, here, let me show you real quick. I go to my trade triangles, and let's go ahead and let that load for a second. And this is how I basically pick my stocks. I go here. Volume always has to be greater than 1 million. I scan for weekly trade triangles. I scan for trade triangles that were traded on the day of. And then I check their score. So for example, I would go through all of these trades right here to find out if there's a B or A rating in Charles Schwab. And then I would look for my shorts on the reverse of this, and anything 90 or greater, so 90 to 100, and also on the reverse of that, anything 90 or positive, I would go through and I'd look through all these trades right here, these possible markets here, and I would see if I was going to short them or not. And these would all have to be rated at either a D or an F in order to actually initiate the trade. So that's just to give you an idea of how I actually look at the trade triangles. I don't like to trade off of the daily triangles. I'm more of a weekly and monthly kind of guy. That's what I do, that's what I like, and that's what's been able to make me quite a bit of money so far. This has proven to be a really good system for when you're looking at stuff like that. So let's go ahead and I've already purchased, or I've already shorted Twitter because it came up, as you can see right here, and that's an F-rated stock, and it just keeps going down and down and down since the beginning of the trade today, and I think that's fantastic. And then I bought Equity Commonwealth because it went into a weekly trade today, but it also went into a daily because it was up 3%. I still think this is still pretty strong positive stock, and I'm going to hold on to it as it keeps climbing. I might look into more of these as they come up. I noticed today VSH, that's come up. That's a B-rated stock on Charles Schwab. And I might look into a few. I think SAP, that one's coming up pretty good too. I might look into that as well. And like I said, I buy these in 100 share blocks every time that I trade. So that's what I basically do. Whenever I see an ETF, like for example, there's an ETF down here. I got the S&P US preferred stock. That one's come up on the radar, but they're not all the triangles are not going in the same direction, so I'm probably not going to be interested in that. Even here on the Ultra Pro Short QQQ, the SQQQ, that one's got a weekly up, but still the monthly's down. And if that monthly turns green, then I am buying calls on this stock. And I'm getting into it, jumping into it with 2 feet deep. Okay? Anyways, that's basically how I trade. Let me know what you think, and I'll hit you back with any comments. Talk to you later. Bye.